When we think about transforming our lives, our minds often jump to big, dramatic changes, major decisions, or life-altering moments. But over the years, observing both those who thrive and those who struggle, I've discovered something important. It's not the grand gestures that create the greatest impact. True change comes from the small things, the little routines and daily choices we often dismiss as unimportant. If you want to create lasting transformation, you must begin with these small habits. Over time, their effects compound, and the outcome is remarkable. One day, without even realizing it, you'll look around and see yourself living the very life you once only imagined, all because you consistently practiced those little habits. Now imagine this. What if your future could be reshaped by simply adopting 10 small habits? Not overwhelming or impossible, just 10 manageable practices. That's the beauty of habits. They don't demand huge lifestyle overhauls or strokes of luck. They're simple actions you can begin right now with what you have exactly where you are. So let's dive into these habits that, once built into your daily routine, can completely transform your life. The first habit, reading. Some might say, I don't have time to read every day. But let me be clear, reading is one of the most powerful habits you could ever develop. And I don't mean reading aimlessly. I mean reading with intention. Pick books that stretch your thinking, challenge your perspectives, and introduce new possibilities. Just as your body needs nourishment, your mind needs the right fuel. Reading isn't just entertainment, it's a gateway to growth, knowledge, and new opportunities. Think about it. Every book is a person's life work condensed into pages. Instead of spending years figuring things out yourself, you can gain decades of wisdom in hours. You don't need to spend hours daily either. Even 10 to 15 minutes of focused reading adds up. That knowledge compounds like interest in a bank account. Over time, it reshapes the way you think, solve problems, and face challenges. But here, the key, be selective. Don't waste your precious time on gossip or fluff. Choose works that align with your goals and stretch your mind, biographies, personal development, business strategies, or anything that moves you toward the future you envision. What you feed your mind today will shape the life you live tomorrow. The second habit, journaling. Almost every successful person has one thing in common: they write things down daily. And yet journaling is often underrated. Writing your thoughts, ideas, and goals onto paper turns vague feelings into something real and tangible. It clears mental clutter, eases confusion, and gives you perspective. When your thoughts are trapped in your head, they create noise and stress. But once you write them down, it's like cleaning a messy room. Suddenly, things feel organized, manageable, and clear. A few minutes of journaling each day can change everything. It's not about writing something profound. Just let your thoughts flow. Doing this not only gives clarity but also creates a track record of your journey. Later, when you look back, you'll see how far you've come, how many challenges you've conquered, and how much progress you've made. That reflection alone fuels motivation and gratitude. The third habit, goal setting. Without goals, you're like a ship without a sail, moving but aimlessly drifting wherever the wind takes you. Goals give you purpose, direction, and focus. They make every choice deliberate and push you closer to your vision. Setting goals isn't a once-a-year ritual at New Year's, it's a daily practice. Each morning, ask yourself, what is one thing I can achieve today that will move me forward? Write it down. That single act gives your mind a target, and your brain thrives on targets. It will work, often subconsciously, to find ways to achieve what you set out to do. But remember, vague goals won't cut it. Your goals must be clear, specific, and actionable. With the right clarity, your actions gain power, your decisions align with your future, and momentum begins to build. So don't underestimate the small things. Reading to feed your mind, journaling to organize your thoughts, and setting goals to create direction. These simple habits, practiced consistently, can completely redefine your life. Vague goals always create vague outcomes. You can't just say, I want to be successful or I want to get fit. Those statements are too broad. What does success actually look like for you? What does fitness really mean to you? The clearer and more specific your goals are, the sharper your focus and the more intentional your actions will become. Break those big ambitions into smaller, actionable steps, then tackle them consistently. By making this a daily habit, setting clear, small goals each day, you'll be astonished at how much progress stacks up. Soon, those small daily wins will grow into extraordinary achievements. And remember, always write your goals down. Now, feeding your mind is essential, but don't forget your body. Your physical health is just as important as your mental growth, and the best way to nourish your body is through movement. Exercise isn't only about getting fit, though it certainly strengthens your body. It also sharpens your focus, boosts your mood, and fuels your energy. When you move your body, you send yourself a powerful message. I'm alive, I'm strong, I'm capable. That confidence bleeds into every other area of your life. There's a direct connection between physical health and mental performance. When your body feels strong, your mind feels sharp. You're more resilient under stress, you think more clearly, and you have the energy to handle challenges with strength and clarity. The best part: exercise doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't require hours in the gym or exhausting routines. Even a brisk 20-minute walk, light stretching, or some basic strength work can completely change the way you feel. The real secret is consistency. Doing something every day, even if it's small, beats burning out from overexertion once a week. Exercise is also a metaphor for life. It teaches resilience. Every time you push past discomfort, every time you continue when it gets tough, you're training your mind not to quit. That kind of grit is exactly what you need in every pursuit. So make movement a daily habit, not just for your body, but for your clarity, focus, and drive. Next is gratitude. People often dismiss it because it feels too simple, but gratitude is one of the most powerful habits you'll ever build. Here, why? What you focus on expands. Focus on what's missing and you'll see more lack. Focus on what's working and you'll start noticing more good. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. And gratitude isn't just about feeling good. It's about reprogramming your mind to see opportunities where others only see problems. Gratitude changes your energy. When you walk around with a grateful heart, you stop feeling empty and start feeling fulfilled. That energy makes you more open to new ideas, new people, and new possibilities. Building gratitude is easy. Every day, pause for a moment to reflect on what you're thankful for. It doesn't need to be anything grand. Maybe it's the sunshine, a kind word, a good meal, or simply the fact that you woke up today. Write it down if you can. With time, your perspective shifts and life feels richer, more abundant, and more joyful. Now let's talk about rest. In today's hustle-driven world, rest is undervalued. We glorify non-stop grinding, constant work, and busyness. But here's the truth: without rest, you burn out. Your body and mind need recovery. Rest isn't optional, it's essential. Rest goes beyond sleep, though quality sleep is critical. It means giving yourself time to breathe, to reflect, to simply be. Ever notice how your best ideas appear in the shower, on a walk, or during a quiet moment? That's because your brain needs stillness to connect dots, solve problems, and spark creativity. Productivity isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And part of being smart is knowing when to step back, recharge, and reset. Make rest part of your daily rhythm. It could be short breaks, meditation, time in nature, or simply enjoying a hobby you love. Rest isn't laziness, it's fuel. It sharpens your mind, restores your energy, and boosts creativity. Without it, you limit your true potential. With it, you come back stronger. Another powerful habit is giving. For years, I thought I couldn't afford to give until I realized giving isn't only about money. It's about giving your time, your attention, your kindness, and your energy. When you give selflessly, you unlock a flow of abundance in your own life. The more you put into the world, the more comes back to you. But here, the key: give without expectation. Genuine generosity creates fulfillment no material reward can match. The most successful, joyful people are givers. They pour into others and somehow they always seem to have more joy, more love, more opportunities. And don't forget, giving also applies to yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Fill yourself first, then give freely to others. So ask yourself daily, how can I give today? How can I create a positive impact for someone else? When you live like that, life opens up in ways you never imagined. And finally, listening. It might seem small, but listening can transform your life and your relationships. Most people don't truly listen. They just wait for their turn to speak. But real listening, being present, paying attention, seeking to understand, is rare and it's powerful. When you listen, you show respect. You show that you value the other person's thoughts and feelings. That builds trust. It deepens relationships. It opens doors that might have stayed closed otherwise. Listening isn't just about words. It's about catching the emotions, the tone, the meaning behind them. And here's the gift. When you develop the habit of listening, you not only give others your presence, but you also learn more yourself. You become wiser, more understanding, more insightful. And that wisdom is a game changer. Learning to listen deeply is one of the most powerful skills you can build. It sharpens your decision-making, helps you solve problems with clarity, and allows you to connect with others on a deeper, more meaningful level. And the best part, it doesn't require much. Just a bit more focus, a touch of intention, and the rewards you'll gain, both personally and professionally, will be enormous. The next habit is patience. Everyone knows it's important, yet very few truly practice it. We live in an age of instant gratification where we crave quick results, quick recognition, quick success. But reality doesn't work that way. Anything of real value demands effort, time, and persistence. When you learn to be patient, life feels less stressful and far more rewarding. Too many people give up right before their hard work begins to pay off. The ones who succeed are those who stick it out, who understand that great achievements take time to unfold. Patience isn't about sitting idle and waiting. It's about showing up every single day, putting in consistent effort and trusting the process, even when progress isn't visible. Think of a seed planted in the soil. For weeks, it looks as if nothing is happening. Yet beneath the ground, roots are spreading and strength is building, until one day it breaks through and grows tall. Success works in the same way. Your hidden efforts eventually bloom when the time is right. To build patience, shift your mindset. Stop chasing instant outcomes and instead embrace the long game. Remind yourself daily that the work you're putting in now will reward you later. Celebrate small wins, find joy in the journey, and believe that persistence combined with patience is unstoppable. Because patience, when mastered, becomes your superpower, giving you calm, focus, and resilience no matter how long the road may seem. Another habit that transforms lives is choosing the right people to surround yourself with. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your environment shapes your thoughts, your energy, your growth. Negative company will hold you back, but being around positive, ambitious, growth-minded people will pull you upward and challenge you to reach higher. Of course, it's not always easy. Sometimes people closest to us may not support our growth, but if you want to change your life, you must change your environment, even if it's uncomfortable. Be intentional with your circle. Seek out people who inspire, encourage, and push you toward your best self, and at the same time bring value to them. Be the one who uplifts, motivates, and supports. When like-minded people come together, ideas spark, opportunities grow, and everyone rises together. Take a hard look at your circle. Are they helping you become who you want to be, or are they holding you back? The truth is simple. Your environment will either elevate you or drag you down. The choice is always yours. Remember, these 10 small habits may seem ordinary, but they hold extraordinary power. It's not about perfection. It's about small, consistent improvements each day. Over time, those little habits compound, and suddenly your life looks entirely different. Never underestimate the power of starting small. Begin today, even if it's with just one habit.